As I said earlier today, we celebrate the solemnity of the nativity of John the Baptist, the birth of John the Baptist. In the liturgical calendar, the calendar of the church, there are 3 feasts in which we commemorate the birth of someone. The birth of Jesus on top of them. The birth of Jesus Christmas, then the birth of the Blessed Virgin Mary, September 8th, then this solemnity, the birth of John the Baptist. All those feasts we celebrate to commemorate or to honor the saints, memorial of saints, those dates are not the day of their birth. We should know. It's not the day they were born. Therefore, when you have your feast of saints and you venerate the saints, do not say happy birthday. No, it's not the day they were born. It's the day, it's the date of their death or the anniversary of their canonization. So those are the dates. Not the day they were born physically, but the day they were born in heaven. Death. Why death? Because it's the end to their journey here on earth, and as they ended their lives, it's a life fitting of a life offered to the Lord, a life lived as a disciple or true disciple of Jesus. That is why on the day they die, it's like victory. Victory. It's triumph. So we have their feasts on the day they die. That's on the saints. But why is it that we have this? Of course, with Jesus, no question, because his birth is because he is the Son of God. That is the incarnation we celebrate. God become man. On the Blessed Virgin Mary, because she is conceived without sin. From the moment of conception, she is freed from sin. Hence, her birth is worth celebrating because her birth is already freedom from sin. From the moment of conception, then from her birthday, she is freed from sin. She is always in a state of grace. So her birth is worth celebrating. How about John the Baptist? John the Baptist is the precursor. He prepared the way of the Lord. So, he prepared the way of the Lord. The Lord also prepared this precursor. The Lord also prepared this instrument of preparing the way for the coming of his Son. Just as the Lord prepared Mary to become the mother of his Son, so God prepared also the one to prepare the way of the coming of his Son. No wonder, with the meeting of Elizabeth and Mary, can you remember that account? When this mother and another mother, holy mothers met, Elizabeth said, "Who am I, that the mother of the Lord should come to me?" The moment your greeting sounded in my ears, look at this. Elizabeth said, "The baby in my womb leaped for joy." And who is that baby? John. John recognized the Savior before him. And where is the Savior before him? It's in the womb of Mary. John, even in the womb, leaped for joy. It's the leap of faith. Therefore, even in the womb, this John knows the Savior. In the womb, this John is cleansed of sin because he is to prepare the way of the Messiah. Hence, his birth is worth celebrating. So that is what we now have, the nativity of John the Baptist, because he is to prepare the way of the Savior. John is believed, known to be the voice crying in the wilderness. We knew that. He is the voice crying in the wilderness. Look at the way the Lord prepared for his Son. We have the voice crying in the wilderness, and because he is the voice, his father, when the announcement was made through an angel, his father was, who was his father? Zechariah, when he was told of the wife getting pregnant, Zechariah lost his voice. Look at the sequence. Look at the meaning. Zechariah loses his voice. But when John was born, he gains his voice. He was able to speak. Because the voice is born, John. The voice crying in the wilderness. But the voice is nothing without the message. Voice is simply a sound without the word. Who is the word then? The word is Jesus. The word becoming man. Look at the connection here. The voice is John. Word is Jesus. John is John. But John crying in the wilderness is nothing without the word. No wonder when John was born, Zechariah gains his speech because the voice is born. But the word is yet to be born to give meaning to the voice. Let this be a beautiful reminder to all of us. In these times of difficulties, crisis, we need the word, not just the voice. We need the word. We may be shouting, we may be angry, we may be what? Much of voices we hear. But without the word, these voices are empty. Without the word, these voices could mean voices of anger and hatred and desire for vengeance and going after people, pointing fingers at others, blaming. These are the voices of the present. Voices of anxiety, fear. Let us ask for the word to give meaning to this. In this solemnity of the birth of John, this is one most famous practice. You know that? When we go to the beach and we take a bath. Because John the Baptist is the Baptist. But there is a beautiful meaning to this. We take a bath. Ordinarily, we people, we love to take a bath. We love waters. Ordinarily, it may not be for everyone, but for many. First, because a large part of ourselves physically is water. We know that. No wonder we love waters. But why is it that we love waters really? Because even in the womb, we stay there for some time, bathed in water for some time. That is how we understand life first. That is how we understand love first. We are taken care of. We are being loved. We are being fed inside the womb of mothers. Therefore, water could mean love for us. No wonder when we see waters, when we see beach, when we see oceans, when we have waters, we love it. Why? Because this is our first touch of life. This is our first experience of love, taken care of. So on these feasts of the birth of John, he is the voice of love. The voice of love. And Jesus is the message of love. These times, we need this voice and we need the word. We need to be reminded of love. Love. Let us work together. Birth of John the Baptist. He is the voice, yes. We need the word, Jesus. What voice is this? The voice of love. His birth is worth celebrating. And he is immersed in waters for some time. He is immersed in the womb of Elizabeth for some time. He is immersed in love, purified in love. And his birth is worth celebrating. As we continue this Eucharistic celebration, as we bring before God our intentions and prayers. You know, people nowadays, they just text you and say, please, Father, pray for this. These intentions, these prayers. Even today, the birth of my niece, John Velis. He's in abroad. And I said, this kind of prayers, when people ask you to pray for them, please pray for them heartily. Do not let it pass. Do not just say, yes, I pray for you, and you forget. Please, take it sincerely. Right at the moment people ask you, please pray for me, please pray for this, please pray for this, stop for a moment and offer prayers for them. Do not wait for the next Mass. Do not wait for the Angelus in the afternoon or noontime. Do not wait for the night you pray rosary. No, right there and then. Please, offer prayer. These are our best expressions of love. This is what we need right now. Voices with words. John the Baptist with Jesus. Voices with meaning.